Do you love breakdowns? Do you need stats? Do you crave insight? Download the AllStar app. UFC, Bellator, PFL 1 Championship, and more. Ad-free, fully customizable. Download the best app in the business. Link in descriptions. Michael Bisping weighs in on John Jones's USADA reparations. Now, let's get into what these reparations are, right? Do you guys have a little bit more like info about this? Do you guys understand this a little bit better than I do? Because I just saw this on the news. And
so is this that they basically changed the USADA rules for UFC 285?
Yeah. For John Jones. Or not for John Jones, just for everybody.
I guess from my understanding, USADA recently changed a test and the limits you can get of a certain substance, and the new limit would have made all of John Jones' past violations irrelevant. He wouldn't have popped, essentially. It would have been a safe amount of whatever he was caught with. So it just sounds like Dana White and the UFC is moving another event, so to speak, for John Jones. Typical fashion.
Man, this is just a can of worms right here, man. We're opening a big can of worms here. And we just had that IV fiasco just recently as well, which involves USADA. USADA says you could have 100 milliliters every 12 hours if its doctors approved. And then you got Australia saying, the commission in Australia says that you cannot take any kind of IVs, no matter what, basically. And then now they're, what is it? What was it? Australia said what? They said that they have no reason to think that anybody took any IVs. And man, I've heard some stuff behind the scenes that it's not good, man. And a lot of fighters, man, it seems like they've known that fighters are taking IVs as well, just from speaking with them. And they're kind of angry about that as well. And they think that, something should be done about it because, you had Ali post that, 2 to 3 liters, which he probably didn't know what liters and milliliters were. Yeah. If you're doing 2 to 3 liters, that's like thousands of liters, milliliters, which is not allowed. And then he erased that because someone told him, like, yo, you're probably wrong. But USADA, like, do you think they should overturn things that are in the past because USADA is changing this? I don't think so. Nah. I think you should keep it what it is. The reason why is because there was something there.
Yeah.
There was something there, right? Like, it's not like there was nothing there. There was something there. And when there's smoke, like I think Bisping said that when there's smoke, there's fire, right? And there was something there. So unless he can prove that there was nothing there, like he took something that was responsible for it, you know what I mean? Like, what can you do about it? Like, you can't just overturn wins, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of crazy, dude. John Jones has had the craziest career, I think, and it's just like he's one of the greatest of all time at the same time, which, if this was any other fighter, they would have never been through all of this, right? Because USADA wouldn't done anything for them. They would have just been like, who cares? This is just like, a journeyman, right?
Imagine if like Tom Brady or LeBron James got into as many issues as John Jones does. Like, why can't our sport just have a GOAT without all the extra bullshit around it?
I mean, Tom Brady has been through his fair share of accusations during his time, but yeah, I agree with you there, though.
Yeah, John Jones says, John Jones should get reparations for his USADA suspensions given the science change and now tests under 100 picograms per milliliter. Is that milliliter? Are not positive anymore. None of his positive tests would be positive under the current rules. His no contest against DC should be restored to a win. There you go. Yeah. Very plain and simple, like what they're trying to do. And I think that when there's smoke, there's fire. If there's a little bit there, that means something was there, right? You can't deny that. Sure. Unless you have proof that you took something. I think there's fighters now that are able to kind of go back and find whatever they took and show the proof of, like, this is what I took. This is why I tested. I think Bobby Green was in that situation, right? Where he tested positive and then he went and got the product from Walmart. Why are you taking supplements from Walmart?
Yeah, what are you doing, man?
You have the UFC PI.
Wasn't it
or
like
cream.
a cream? Yeah, it was something like
Yes.
cream or something. It was weird.
You have
It
the
was,
UFC PI that could provide you everything for free.
yeah, yeah.
Like fighters are telling me like the PI provides everything for free. Why would you go to a store when they could ship everything to you, right?
Yeah.
Supplements and all that. Thorn. If you're taking Thorn and you pop, that's Thorn. Thorn did something wrong, and they're official. I think they're a sponsor for the UFC PI. So like, anything that they're making is USADA approved, most likely, right? So man, overturning, man, it would be wild if like this whole situation, nothing was actually in it, and let's say somebody put something in John Jones's just because they hate John Jones. Let's put on the tinfoil hat. You know what I mean?
It's possible.
Yeah, it is. It is possible, man. It's just DC. I would be mad if I'm DC, right? Because there's always going to be that question mark because John Jones was the only guy that he could never beat. And it's always going to be hanging over his head. Like if DC beat John Jones, DC would be in the argument for like greatest of all time, right? Past John Jones. And the crazy part is we do have a guy that's the greatest of all time that has nothing, but nobody cares, which is Demetrius Johnson. And even John Jones doesn't even care because he doesn't even put him in the top 5 of his list of the greatest fighters of all time, right?
Crazy.
Yeah, and what can you do, man? What can you do? It seems like the more controversy you have, the better chance of GOAT status.
This almost makes me curious as to if this is related to McGregor on Tough. I'm not saying McGregor's on the steroids, but he's huge. Okay, to say it would. Joe Rogan said this on his podcast. McGregor would have been literally smart to take something after that injury to build himself back up, get it out of his system, get back to being clean. You're 35, however old he is. Your testosterone is not the same as you were when you're 18, 25 years old. So to take a little TRT to recover from an injury, that's one thing. But now, Tough 31, still no USADA test. The levels are lowering for USADA. Is this really because of John Jones, or is this to prep for McGregor's hot piss coming in soon?
I don't know, man. It's pretty crazy, man. We got a comment from 4 Ounce to Freedom.
That's my boy Zach.
Yeah, Zach. And this must be his name. Must be a reference to Sublime. It's got to be, right?
Yeah, he's a big Sublime guy.
Okay. The biggest issue of this whole Jones concept is that if they were to do this, is they'd have to redo that for every fight, anytime of Rochi. That's right, dude. Like, that's gonna be tough, man, because you gotta look back on everything, like every single time. And USADA, man, I don't know. They're testing, yes, and they're testing more than anybody in any promotion, in any organization, probably in any sport, right? But are they doing the job right? Are they doing it properly? Are they doing it the best that they can do the job, right? Or are they just doing the job so when they decide to so they have something they can use against fighters maybe, or to support fighters? I don't know. It's very weird, man, that some guys get popped and then you never hear about them, and then some guys get popped and then they're suspended and then they're cut. Some guys get popped and they were suspended the whole time. You didn't even know that they were suspended, right? Like,
or they're injured,
Yeah, they're injured. Yeah, they retire and then they come back right after their injury and recovery. And we're seeing that situation with McGregor. Yeah, McGregor is the big one, right? Like this year, you got 2 of the biggest stars of the sport coming back, and USADA is just all over them, right? And they're manipulating the rules to have them return. And Jake, you make a great point, man. When McGregor comes back later this year, are they going to tweak some rules for that as well? Just because is McGregor taking like pre-piss tests just to see like what the levels are and doing his own testing? You never know. Like if you have the money, you could do that, right? You could do your own testing. He can do whatever he
wants, yeah.
Exactly, right? You could do your own testing. Like you could take something, test yourself, and say, okay, this shit, it's lasting for like about a week. So let me not take this and take this shit. Because there's so much shit you can take now. Like there's peptides that they can't test for, from what I heard, that you can take that will make you an extreme athlete, like crazy, right? So but yeah, man, this is a never ending argument and never ending topic, but I love it.